The 10 principles of 74-10 style provide a holistic framework designed to give my family and me a sense of well-being, both physical and mental, the energy to do the things we would like to do, and feeling a joy for life. Much of this comes from your inner essence, but good food, tasty, delicious, satisfying, heartwarming, comforting, certainly helps. So there we were. We had done the research, accumulated knowledge, and knew what we wanted to eat. Low SOS, salt, oil, sugar, whole foods, plant-based meals. But now what? We had never cooked with just plants. How were we going to change our cooking style? Did we even need to change our cooking style? You guessed it. Researching and accumulating knowledge, then experimenting and trying out the new recipes. In this video, we'd like to share a few of the books, YouTube channels, and websites on low SOS whole foods plant-based cooking that helped us to accumulate knowledge and cook these plants. We hope you'll see that there are a lifetime of delicious and tasty whole foods, plant-based recipes to try out and find your favorites. We found a lot of good advice about cooking from Ann Esselstyn's section in the Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease book. The book has over 150 recipes that do not add oil, table salt, or white processed sugar. But don't worry if you like a salty or sweet taste. The recipes have substitutes for salt and sugar, along with plenty of spices and herbs to make for very tasty foods. Ann Esselstyn has helpful advice for thinking about cooking a whole foods plant-based diet. Tastes change as you eliminate the fats. Not only did our tastes change, but we also discovered a whole new world of flavor that had been covered up mostly by oils. There are alternatives to salt like low-sodium tamari, Bragg liquid aminos, and white miso. We use a lot more spices and fresh herbs now, and salt alternatives like Mrs. Dash. For a savory taste, we use low-sodium soy sauce, Bragg liquid aminos, and miso, and we continue to experiment with new sauces. On occasion, we will still use a pinch of sea salt. Keep breakfast and lunch simple. The three of us eat pretty much the same breakfast every day. Though we each eat a different breakfast, we all include oatmeal and frozen blueberries. We also each eat a mondo salad for lunch. Like our salads are each the size of a salad for a family of 4. We complement the salad with leftovers or sometimes a hummus sandwich. Packaged products can add flavor and variety, but read the ingredients label. To save time, we buy some packaged products like bread, hamburger buns, meatless meatballs, and chicken patties. We study the ingredients label and pick the best, lowest salt, oil, and sugar of what is available. Be sure to check the ingredients, not just check the percentages. We recently bought some frozen veggie burgers only to return them because they were made with egg whites. Indispensable cooking implements: rice cooker, microplane, and citrus reamer. We use all 3 of these cooking implements, and we would add several other tools. A non-stick wok makes quick work of lo mein and ramen. Parchment paper and silicone mats make cleanup so much easier. A non-stick pan really helps with sautéing or heating up burritos. Finally, we use a wire mesh strainer for rinsing grains like rice and legumes like lentils and beans. Enough tips. Let's talk about some mouth-watering, oil-free whole foods plant-based recipes. Sometimes we like a special breakfast, or even better, breakfast for dinner. Jane Esselstyn has a YouTube channel with recipes for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks and treats in between. If you have a waffle iron, Zeb's plant-based waffles feature old-fashioned rolled oats, walnuts, and flaxseed meal, along with orange zest, cinnamon, banana, and almond milk for a crispy, delicious waffle. Skip the butter and add berries or maple syrup for a delicious meal. Before 74-10 style, I mindlessly threw in a ton of olive oil in the pan to sauté my onions. Mindlessly. On Jane Esselstyn's channel, Jane and Ann show how to cook onions and mushrooms without oil. Now, we don't even think about sauteing onions or mushrooms in oil. Shane and Simple's website has many delicious recipes. We really enjoy these cauliflower wings as an appetizer or even as dinner. Cauliflower is the perfect canvas for our hot wing sauce. We love Frank's Red Hot sauce and usually use it as the dipping sauce. Sometimes we batter button mushrooms or onions and bake them along with our cauliflower wings. From this recipe, you get a crispy and crunchy coating that makes you forget you ever wanted to deep fry. The bonus is that cleanup is so much easier than figuring out what to do with a big vat of old oil. In the Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease book, there is a recipe for Antonia Demas's colorful lentil soup. This soup has a creaminess and heartiness from the lentils, with the flavors from the peppers, carrots, onions, and celery over the tomato base. We like to add jalapeno peppers for a bit of spiciness and usually spoon it over rice or barley. It's even better for lunch the next day. This black bean and sweet potato quesadilla recipe can be found in the Plant Strong book. In this book by Rip Esselstyn, Rip teams up with his sister Jane for 150 recipes. The Forks Over Knives website also features this recipe, and in case you're looking for more healthful recipes, Rip and Jane Esselstyn also wrote the Engine 2 cookbook with more than 130 recipes. The main ingredients in these quesadillas are sweet potato, brown rice, black beans, and vegetarian, no added oil, refried beans, and a medley of spices on whole wheat tortillas. 3 minutes on each side, give the tortillas a light crispiness, then top with salsa and guacamole. You may not believe me now, but we don't even miss the cheese with the creaminess of the sweet potato and satisfying chewiness of the black beans. The Simnett Nutrition YouTube channel has lots of tasty, delicious, oil-free vegan recipes. We make the Mexican-inspired bean burrito at least once a week, and it's one of my favorites. Rice and salsa, onions, peppers, chili powder, garlic powder, cumin. Then black beans and pinto beans, more spices, and add in some fresh cilantro. We skip the vegan cheese and add jalapeno peppers and refried beans instead. There are many recipes for grilling or sauteing portobello mushrooms. One simple method is to splash on your favorite barbecue sauce as you grill or saute the portobello mushroom cap. Shane and Simple's website has an easy portobello steak recipe. The marinade includes a low-sodium soy sauce or Bragg liquid aminos, balsamic vinegar, pure maple syrup, with garlic powder and smoked paprika for the spices. When we put these portobello steaks on buns, we add big thick slices of onion and sometimes jalapeno peppers. You can dress them up any way you'd like, but they make a quick dinner with smashed baby potatoes and baked beans. On the Forks Over Knives website, there are hundreds of recipes for a whole foods, plant-based diet. There's a collection of grab-and-go lunches that you can prep in advance and save time and eat throughout the week. There's also a collection of 20-minute meals for busy weeknights. Sometimes we simply like to have a burger. There are several time-saving options for plant-based burgers in your grocery store, like Beyond Burger and Impossible Burger Patties. They are super convenient, but we only use them occasionally because of their fat content. An oil-free option is the Forks Over Knives 5-ingredient veggie burger recipe. The main ingredients are black beans and quick-cooking rolled oats for a feeling of meatiness. Onion, lime juice, chili powder, and a touch of sea salt and pepper bring the flavor. Then you can dress it up with lettuce and tomato, pickles, onion, ketchup, and mustard. When we're feeling the Oktoberfest vibe, we put spicy brown mustard and sauerkraut on these burgers. The Gamechangers website has many collections of recipes, from appetizers for game day to Thanksgiving meals to ramen recipes. This ramen recipe is packed with nutrients and plenty of protein. The recipe calls for a light drizzle of toasted sesame oil for the tofu. We try to minimize oil whenever we can, so we skip the oil and bake our tofu. They still come out crispy, crunchy, delicious, even in the oven. A shortcut that we often take is to use vegan dashi packets to make broth. We found them on Amazon, but you may be able to find them or a broth powder at your grocery store. Don't forget to check the ingredients to make sure the dashi packets are vegan and the ramen noodles don't contain oil. After all those tasty and delicious recipes, it's time for dessert. We were surprised to learn that there's a machine that can make a soft serve like frozen dessert in the amazing creamy Yonanas ice cream recipe video on Jane Esselstyn's YouTube channel. Every now and then, who doesn't want a sweet, creamy frozen dessert? Hopefully, you've seen by this small sample of recipes that you don't have to sacrifice taste or satisfaction by transitioning to a whole foods plant-based diet. Remember to practice acceptance. Don't expect perfection and try new recipes. Sometimes we didn't get it right. We didn't like everything we tried. Sometimes we forgot an ingredient and the food tasted awful. Every day, every meal, we keep trying to improve, accepting that our plant-based food isn't going to taste exactly the same as animal-based food. We found new favorite foods and enhanced flavors that we already liked, but now are even more intense without the oil and fat to cover them up. We now crave our Mondo lunch salad. It is so refreshing and uplifting that you can almost hear your body healing from the inside out. So share your favorite recipe in the comments below, and remember, take it one day at a time until it's 7 days a week, forever 10.